Hi everyone, I'm Adriana Bosco.
And I'm Colette Jaslowski.
We are students from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, studying abroad at Gustolab International Food Systems and Sustainability in Rome, Italy.
This video is created for our Food and Media course.
The main purpose of this video is to address the Sustainable Development Goal of ending poverty in all its forms everywhere.
As students studying abroad, we did not know what the poverty was like in Europe until we arrived. In our experiences here in Rome, we have noticed the level of poverty because we can see many homeless people in our neighborhood, Prati. Although we have seen poverty here in Prati, we notice that there is much less in our neighborhood than in surrounding neighborhoods such as Cesare.
What we have learned about poverty through the Sustainable Development Goals is that there is a strong link between poverty and disability. According to the United Nations, poverty can cause disability through issues such as malnutrition, poor health care, unemployment, and these can all lead to dangerous living situations. This is interesting because most people assume that disability is what causes poverty. But now you can see how this might not be true. Poverty causes disability because it prevents individuals with these disabilities from participating in the economic and social life of their communities. The relationship between disability and poverty and how this affects so many people lead to the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, and more importantly, to our specific goal of ending poverty in all of its forms everywhere.
The goal of ending poverty has outlined many targets it hopes to achieve by 2030. First, it hopes to eradicate extreme poverty for all people everywhere.
Second, it focuses on reducing at least half the proportion of men, women, and children of all ages that are currently living in poverty.
Thirdly, it hopes to implement nationally appropriate social protection systems and measures for all.
It then hopes to achieve sustainable coverage of the poor and the vulnerable.
Next, to ensure that all men and women, particularly the poor, have equal rights to economic resources.
Then to build the resilience of the poor and those in vulnerable situations and reduce their exposure and vulnerability to climate-related events and other economic, social, and environmental shocks and disasters.
And to ensure significant mobilization of resources from a variety of sources in order to provide adequate and predictable means for developing countries to implement programs and policies to end poverty in all its dimensions.
Lastly, it hopes to create sound policy frameworks at the national, regional, and international levels based on pro-poor and gender-sensitive development strategies to support accelerated investment in poverty eradication actions.
With these goals in mind, here are some things students studying abroad can do to help achieve them.
Before departing for your study abroad experience, you can do research to educate yourself on what poverty is like, not only in the city you will be living in, but also the country as a whole, so that you are aware of the poverty surrounding you.
You can speak to your fellow classmates to educate each other and think about ways to solve this problem together. Instead of eating gelato that one night, give your change to someone living on the streets. Leftover food inside of your home is a great way to feed the poverty outside living in your neighborhood. Do research on the homeless shelters in surrounding areas and to see if these shelters have the proper resources. If they do not have the proper resources, what we can do is to chip in to make sure that these shelters are getting everything they need to support the homeless community.
After our experiences of studying abroad, we can stay in touch with the local homeless shelters in Rome from afar by donating supplies, money, and other items that can help them in any way they need. We can also get involved in efforts back in our home communities to ensure we are still working towards the Sustainable Development Goal of ending poverty wherever we are.
After researching this sustainable development goal, we understand the importance of ending poverty and ensuring proper resources for those living in poverty. As studying abroad students, we challenge all of our fellow students studying abroad to make themselves aware of the poverty in their surrounding neighborhoods. We also challenge you to take action today and to get involved at a local homeless shelter and do your part in ensuring those living in poverty have the resources that they need.
We did some research on ways that we can help out specifically in Rome during our study abroad semester. Local homeless shelters that we found are Benario 95 or Gift of Mercy, which is also called Dono di Misericordia and is sponsored through the Vatican.
We challenge our fellow Gusalab Institute students to get involved and even do their own research on places nearby so that they can help in any way that they can. It is so important that we are helping to make sure that these shelters have what they need so we can all be working together towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal. Next are a couple pictures of the places we found nearby in Rome.